Okay. You rolling?
Yeah, rolling. Really are. Yeah. Okay. Hi there. Could you just explain very briefly what you've been doing here today for us?
Self-inflicted torture. We've just broken the world record for the longest indoor skydive, which was an hour and 37 minutes. Stuck inside this wind chamber where you're blasting these 150 mile an hour wind and have to hold your body in position. Genuinely, if I had any idea what it was going to involve mentally to concentrate like that, I would have definitely thought twice about this. But anyway, we've broken it, and I'm really proud.
And why did you decide to attempt this record?
Just because I always love a kind of a challenge, really. We've got a great group of people. Me, Freddie and Alan. Freddie and Alan, two of the top British skydivers. We're raising funds and awareness for Global Angels, who look after dying kids around the world, and that was a big part of it for me. And we've got a great team with the Airkix guys who provided these facilities, and it's been a real mission. And there was a threat that the record was going to be taken by the Americans, and we wanted to make sure it stays on our home territory. But really, it went to the wire. The record was 1 hour 36, and at 1 hour 37 on the second, all of us just collapsed in a heap, tumbled and crashed into the air, grid at the bottom. So really, it was quite touch and go, and I can't remember ever having had to concentrate quite so much before, and I am officially exhausted.
How does it compare to a real skydive?
Well, apparently it's the equivalent of 98 skydives in a row. Or the distance from here to Newcastle, from London to Newcastle in freefall. So it's a long time. But I find I skydive a lot for my work, for the for the Born Survivor programs, and I find after 45 seconds generally I'm pretty buzzing, pretty mentally fired up, and just after about 6 minutes now I was really struggling. I thought I'm never going to make it to an hour and 36, but we did, and we needed all help each other a bit at times, but we just about did it, so I'm really proud.
You broke your back skydiving. How did you then skydive again? How did you get back on the horse?
I think a lot of these things are about just recovering your confidence as much as your strength and movement, and for me it was a real struggle to get back into skydiving after my accident, but I think these things are there to be overcome, and for me it was an important hurdle mentally to get over. For all three of us in there we're pretty sort of abnormal injuries wise, in the sense Al's got no legs, he lost both his legs in a terrorist attack in Northern Ireland. Freddie broke his back base jumping last year. I broke my back in 3 places skydiving 10 years ago, and I think sometimes in life it takes a knock to make you really go out and grab things, and yes it was hard, yes I'm exhausted, but yes we're all three really proud of what we've achieved together today.
You were brought up on the Isle of Wight, is that right? Did you find that growing up on a small island sort of fueled your desire for adventure, as it were?
I think for me growing up in the Isle of Wight it was heaven. I loved it. In the summer it was really mad and busy, and then in the winter it was all sort of quiet and windy and woolly, and I loved that. And I did a lot of climbing on the sea cliffs with my dad, and those are the kind of strong memories I have from growing up there. And I think the sort of thirst to push myself has come from just because a lot of my identity, I think, growing up came from being able to climb well, and always just loving adventure. I think what I've realised over the years is actually it's kind of one of the only things I'm really good at in my life, and actually what a privilege to be able to do the stuff that really fires you up every morning and makes you excited.
Yeah. You've eaten some pretty disgusting things in your time in TV shows. Is there anything that you just couldn't stomach? You just couldn't?
There's no doubt I have eaten some pretty sort of bad things over the last couple of years for these shows, but a lot of survival does require you to put your prejudices aside, and it's about doing whatever it takes to stay alive, and that's a big part of it, eating some pretty horrible things, from yak eyeballs, the goat's testicles, and the fluid inside camels' stomachs, and there have definitely been a few times I have thrown up. But I do find also getting that zone, in the same way today what we're doing here. I think when times are difficult, I do try and get in that zone a bit and do what you need to do. And you know, these things are never easy, whether it's sort of breaking a world record here or eating horrible things, but you know, these things are there to be overcome.
Any kind of normal foods that you steam over?
Spinach. I'll tell you what, I would prefer snakes, guts, you name it, to spinach. I have a bit of a... I think it's my mum used to stew it loads when we were kids, and it was horrible. So I quite like being fussy when I get home.
And finally, what's the next challenge for Bear Grylls?
Well, we start filming again in a month's time for more Survivor shows. I'm leading an expedition to Antarctica at the end of the year. But imminently, I'm going on holiday tomorrow. Been waiting 6 months to have a break with my family. We're going up to Wales, just us guys. Ever.
Thank you very much indeed. Congratulations.
Take care.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.